Hi, I'm James Parr. I'm a model and a disability advocate. Now, it's very clear I do have one leg. Now, the thing about having a visual disability is that everyone just wants to know what happened. From random people coming up to me on the street, or even on dating apps, they'll just message me straight away to ask what happened. Now, cancer's a little bit boring, so I always like to try and come up with the most random, crazy, funny stories just to see if people believe them. They do. I'm not actually sure what rabies is, or if it would require your leg to be amputated, but they believed it. Just in case, they still thought I was a very good-looking guy. Thank you. Another favourite is this one. I was abseiling, my foot got tangled in the rope, and SES had to come down. And the only way to get me down is to amputate my leg. I'm pretty sure SES aren't even trained on how to amputate a leg, but they believed it, and that rocked me a bit too. I've even had someone ask me how much it cost to have my leg amputated. I thought it was pretty obvious that it would cost a leg, but obviously not. Obviously, I am kidding, so we'll be serious now. I'm disabled, I'm queer, and I'm a proud Wiradjuri man. The intersectionality of these identities, they really challenged me, but they also enabled me to find who I was at my core. For those who may not know, intersectionality refers to the ways in which different aspects of a person's identity can expose them to discrimination and marginalisation. It was defined in 1989 by Professor Kimberly Crenshaw to describe how race, class, gender, and other individual characteristics intersect and overlap one another. And my experience as someone with an intersectional identity has been quite an interesting one. Could you imagine being a part of not only one or two, but three minority groups and trying to navigate who you are? I can tell you, society has preconceived notions about who you are. It doesn't matter whether you fit them or not, it's almost as if society will push them onto you. When I was diagnosed with cancer, it felt like my whole world stopped. I started chemo, and 3 months later, it was decided in order to survive that I'd have to have my right leg amputated. I became disabled. And that was really an identity that had never really been a part of me before. When my surgeon said that we'd have to amputate, I was accepting. I literally just said, all right, I'll sign the form. When will the surgery be? And it happened the following Tuesday. Now, I was accepting, but I do remember looking at my leg. There was a stamp. There was a dotted line and a pair of scissors as if it was a permission slip. It stumped me a little bit. Good. You got it? But I was accepting. Now, this added a whole new layer to my visual identity, which wasn't necessarily a bad thing, but the way people now perceived me because of it, it was shocking. People would constantly tell me that they felt sad for me, they felt sorry for me, how horrible it was, or what I could or couldn't do. Do you know how patronizing it feels to have people say those things to you? Even online, people will message me with the most backhanded questions. It was only the other day someone asked me if people in dating apps found me off-putting because I have one leg. So now I'm off-putting. I know I don't, but I don't think they really had a leg to stand on, because tell me. What is off-putting about better parking? Now, after a whole childhood, I'm not really thinking too hard about who I was. All of these questions and assumptions or preconceptions really started to make me rethink my whole experience. I thought back when I came head-to-head with my sexuality. People questioned me for identifying as bisexual. People would ask me, when am I going to come out of the closet? Am I trying to soften the blow by saying I'm bisexual to then come out as gay later? Or which way do I swing more? Which then I thought back to all the experiences I had when I would tell people that I was Aboriginal. Because I'm white presenting, people would just look at me and be like, oh yeah, what percentage Aboriginality are you? I realised that all of these questions and all of those experiences, they really undermined who I was. By answering them, it left me questioning myself and my own legitimacy. It made me wonder if I couldn't answer those questions to live up to those expectations, did that take away the fact that I was Aboriginal or bisexual? Were these questions an actual reflection of who I really was? All of these experiences, they opened my eyes to these preconceived ideas that people have of you, about being queer, or about being Aboriginal, or about being disabled. The first step to understanding myself began with acceptance of people's questions. Not to answer them, but thinking about how they made me feel. I came to the realization I didn't need to justify myself or answer those questions. I just needed to ask myself, how do I feel about myself, and how do I understand myself? And now, with an identity that intersects a lot, I know these things about myself. Yes, I'm bisexual. I'm not confused, but it really doesn't matter who I find hot to anyone else, unless you want my number. Yes, I am Aboriginal, but because I am white presenting, that doesn't make me any less a part of my culture. Yes, I'm disabled, but my disability doesn't define me, nor is my life sad. I define myself. And the only thing that defines you is you. Every individual consists of multiple intersecting factors, including but not limited to gender, class, race, ethnicity, religious beliefs, sexuality, and sexual identity. I'm Indigenous, I'm queer, and I am disabled, and I know that everyone listening here, we may not share the same labels, but we all have an intersectional identity. It may feel like that there are expectations or there are questions that people in society ask you. But I want you to know those labels don't define who you are. But then in that, I also want you to entertain those experiences and welcome those experiences because, like myself, those experiences can help you navigate who you are. Thank you.